Dick and Tom, two ponies. The first ride to the village. One day Mother looked into the barrel where she had flour, and there was no flour in it. "Oh my," she said to Father, "I was going to make some bread, but I have no flour. Will you please ride to the village and get some flour, or will you send one of the men?" Father said that the men were working and that he was too. "Can I go tomorrow?" asked Father. "Yes," said Mother, "but we cannot have any bread for supper." Frank and I heard Mother and Father talking. Frank said, "Let us boys go." "Go where?" asked Father. "To the village for the flour," said Frank. "We could ride Dick and Tom. You have never let us do it before, but I know we could." Father looked at us and then said that we could go. "But do not let the ponies go faster than a trot," he said. "Oh, can we trot?" asked Frank. "You may trot going to the village," said Father, "but you cannot trot coming home with all that flour. By the way, how will you bring it? Did you think of that?" "No, I did not," said Frank. Then Father said that we could have Mr. Harrison put the flour into our big bags. Two bags could be tied together and put over Dick's back, and Tom could bring the other two home on his back. Frank and I ran to the barn. Dick and Tom whinnied when they heard us coming. Did they think it was time to eat? We said, "It is not time to eat, Dick and Tom. You have work to do. Come out here, you two. We are going to ride to the village." We took Dick and Tom out of the barn. Frank got up on Tom's back, and I got up on Dick's back. Then we went out on the road. It was fine to be out on the road, where we had always wanted to be. The ponies liked it too. Dick tossed his red head, and Tom tossed his black head. They pranced about, for they wanted to run. Frank and I did not let them run then. We wanted to have them run when we got to the village. So Frank and I rode slowly at first and made the ponies walk. But when we could see the river and the bridge, I said, "Frank, would you like to trot to the bridge?" "Yes, I would like to," said Frank. "Let's go." So off we went, jumping up and down and getting bumped. But we liked it and had a very good time. When we got to the bridge, Frank said, "Whoa, Tom." I said, "Whoa, Dick." We looked at the river for a time, but before long we went on again. We trotted through the woods. We went around the hill. We went down the road, and there was the village. We were out of breath from all the trotting and bumping, but we looked fine as the ponies pranced down the village street. The ponies pranced up to the grocery store. Frank and I stopped them. We tied Dick and Tom outside. A man who was sitting outside Mr. Harrison's store came up to us. He said, "Hello, boys. You have two fine ponies there." We said that we thought they were good ponies. "Yes, they are very frisky. I watched you coming down the street," said the man. "I would like to buy them. How much do you want for them?" We said that he could not buy them from us because they were not ours. He laughed, and Frank and I went into the grocery store. "Hello, Mr. Harrison," we said. "We would like to buy some flour. Will you please put it in 4 bags?" Mr. Harrison tied the bags of flour together, just as we asked him to. "There's your flour, boys," said Mr. Harrison. "Do you want anything else this afternoon?" I said, "No." But Frank said, "Yes." He had some money in his pocket and wanted to buy some candy. I did not know Frank had any money. Each of us had 4 sticks of candy to eat on the way home. Then Mr. Harrison helped us put the bags of flour over the ponies' backs and helped Frank and me get on the ponies. "Goodbye, boys," said Mr. Harrison. "Goodbye, Mr. Harrison," we said, and we started off for home. Dick and Tom walked down the road, pranced up the hill, went through the woods, and stopped on the bridge. We stayed there for a time. The ponies looked at the water. They wanted some, so we rode them down to the river. Then Frank and I were hungry, and all at once we thought of sticks of candy we had. We did not eat all the candy because we wanted to keep one stick to eat after supper. Then we rode on until we got to our yard. As we went into the yard, Father was coming out of the barn. "Hello, boys," he said. "Did you get back all right?" "Oh, yes," said Frank. Then Father said, "Well, after this you can ride to the village as much as you want. You are big boys now." Father took the 4 bags of flour off the ponies' backs and gave them to Mother. Now Mother could make some bread for supper. Then Frank and I got off the ponies' backs and we pumped some water for them. We took them into the barn. Dick and Tom wanted their corn and oats and hay. It was their supper time, and they were very hungry. They whinnied to tell us how hungry they were and tossed their heads. We gave them their hay and corn and oats, and they began eating. Then we told them it was their bedtime, and we said good night. We were very hungry, too. This was the end of our first day's work with Dick and Tom. Join me next time for more adventures.